All right, so red-white land destruction. You destroy lands in a couple different ways. The first is Crucible of Worlds alongside Memorial to War and Field of Ruin can kill people's lands. We have some Star of Extinctions that kill a land and sweep the board. We have Haphazard Bombardment here, which can choose your opponent's lands and then destroy them slowly at the end of the turn. We've got some Lightning Strikes and Shocks and Clarions and Revitalizes to stay alive against the aggressive decks. We also have some Cleansing Novas out of the sideboard. A couple of people have asking how do we win the game. If we slide down here, there are 3 copies of Mobilized District, which we can return to play if they die with the Crucible of Worlds here. But basically winning is an afterthought. The way you win with this deck is you extinguish your opponent's will to continue living and playing Magic. So games where you actually reduce your opponent's health total to 0, generally speaking, you're playing incorrectly. So anytime the game ends with your opponent not conceding, it's generally a miss. Yeah, I agree. This deck always felt like it wanted more lands. So playing Mobilized District, oh, I should change my frame. That's a good call. Good call on the card frame. The old version had 2 copies of Dawn of Hope. Green Black Citadel is a lot of fun. In fact, we're going to play a slightly different version of Green Black Citadel here as the second deck today. It's different than the Explore build that we've played in the past. Corset 2020 looks like a slam dunk so far. Looks incredibly awesome. This is unfortunate.
Keep an open mind.
Mobilized District is how we win the game. Hopefully they play a land and play this Teferi instead of Thought Erasuring me.
Thank me later.
Gonna dodge veto here. Now it is worth noting that this does shut off the draw an extra card on this, but turning their Planeswalkers off is a pretty big game, so I'm more excited for the new format, Potato. I really wish they weren't going to roll them out at the same time. Like, the fact that we're going to have a new format and rotation at the same time kind of sucks. Because I would like to be able to focus on one and then the other. So we'll have to divide our attention in the fall a little bit. That's fine. What's a few 80-hour work weeks between friends? We'll do like 60 hours live and do like 30 and 30. Well, I can cast Revitalize on their turn to draw a card. So this is an instant. Yeah, Hostage Shaker is likely they're only out to this. They could have a D-Spark. A lot of these decks play a copy of D-Spark in the main. So this is gonna flip over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and activate it. Oh, I should have left Field of Ruin untapped so I could field them. Do I have any feel for the new ratio that you'll be playing on Arena versus Standard? My plan is to play 50-50 new Standard and the new format, and then gauge what is appropriate as a split based on the feedback I get from the subscribers. So all my decisions, as always, are going to be data-driven. So if there is demand for the new format, I will probably scale back on the amount of Modern I'm doing when the new format drops. But my plan is to continue doing at least like one Modern League per day when we're not right at set release. But I'll probably scale that back to like 1 or 2 a week when we get a new format.
When you understand reality.
Sweet. Mobilized District lets us kill the Narset potentially, which is nice. We're supposed to... They announced the announcement and said we should get details about the new format when Core Set 2020 releases. So I'm gonna go ahead and Memorial to War this land, so that way they're not holding up a 2-mana removal spell for my Mobilized District, because my district's gonna be a 4/4 thanks to the Immortal Sun. So I can actually attack in here still. You generally want to manually tap in this deck, because you have a lot of utility lands. I really hope they include Kaladesh block. In fact, I'll be kind of upset if they don't. Morning, Davis. Did my stream title not update? My stream title did not update. Sorry about that. I mean, we can't know, Garden Variety Troll. Like, whenever people tell you with certainty they know what's going to happen in these new formats, you just, like, you know they're idiots, right? Like, it's difficult for professional Magic players to predict what's going to happen in a standard format that's gaining one new set, much less trying to predict what's going to happen in a format full of new cards. Alright, so we're really hoping to draw a Star of Extinction here. Really hoping to draw a Star of Extinction. Removal spell for this would also be an okay draw. I can't do anything here, unfortunately. It's just gotta pass. So Star of Extinction, the deck list that had to show up. It's got out Infinite Shadow. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Yeah, Immortal Sun Narset's kind of awkward, right? Because like this, even oh, this is a 5 loyalty one. I'd say even Shock or Lightning Strike would be good here, but they don't have good attacks here because I have Mobilized District plus Aspires, which is nice. The stream title's been updated. You need to refresh. Immortal Sun kind of working as advertised here, huh? Do we think they drew a removal spell? They probably did. I'm gonna get Tyrant Scorned. Let's do it. Let's do it anyways, shall we? Deafening Clarion's an okay draw too, because it alleviates all of my opponent's pressure. It would kill all of these, and then this checks this. That is what we wanted for Christmas. So do you have a veto? We're gonna get vetoed. Woo, buddy! All right, there goes the neighborhood. Aye. My removal spell that draws a land when I play it is sweet. Clarion, my wayward son, there'll be peace when you are gone. Do 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 do. Six mana Chandra is exactly the win condition this deck wants. Dealer's choice, as you will. Mr. Stanky, I tuned in at the perfect time for the star. Keep up the great work. Thanks for the quarter of your support. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, so these two cards will kill 7 lands over the next few turns. Hunk. I didn't pick this blue one because I'm going to Memorial to War that blue one next turn.
Past, present, and future are bound by threads of time.
I like the roulette wheel on the lands too. It makes me feel things. Blue mana! Kill the blue mana! Kill the blue mana! Yeah! Blue mana destruction! Sure. You got it? They know I have 2 Clarions. Kill the blue mana! Kill the blue mana! Yeah, buddy. This is so viscerally satisfying. I forgot how hilarious this deck is when it wins. I ran out of land deep bits. It's okay, Zach. It's okay. Yeah, I think I double kill Narset here. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this.
I must stay focused. I have reached my limit.
Got you, Zach. Thanks for the biddies, Bead. All right, 24 hours. Now, there is a worry that our Crucible and our last Mobilized Districts might be too deep into our deck for us to win the game with them. There's one more basic in my deck. Let's see if there's another basic in there. Usually these decks play an island too. Hey, Bob. Thanks for the biddies, folks. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Wednesday. I know I am. And I've got 3 Spires of Orzaka in play here, so this Bellhaunt's not doing anything anytime soon. Ooh, do they not have an island? Do they surveil the island away? Maybe they're just not playing one? Yeah, we have 3 mobilized districts, and I have a Crucible to get them back, theoretically. So here's the fun part. Multiple Haphazard Bombardments stack. So these all get counters, and now we're gonna kill 3 things at end of turn here. If we're really lucky, this will survive and all their lands will die. Oh, it sustains me, chat. Oh, right, there's treasure maps in our deck. You know, I almost forgot we had treasure maps. We've been really unlucky this game, huh? I mean, they haven't seen a win condition yet. They probably want to see our win condition. There we go. There we go. There's a win condition. All right, 5 turns. Let's go. 7 mana Stone Raid you. There's 1 more district, and there's a Crucible in our deck. There we go. Sweet. All right, we should be good to go. Oh, we have burn spells too. Mobilized District is such a great win condition for this deck. This is everything this deck ever wanted as a win condition. We, like, really hated playing the gain life card. See? See, you almost never win the game by reducing their health total to 0. You basically always win through the concession. For people who was asking earlier how do you actually win, that's how. Oh, that was just a quality game of Magic the Gathering. All right, so do I want Ixalan's Binding in this matchup? Yeah, do I want Lava Coil? I feel like Lava Coil's okay. Ixalan's Binding could also be okay. Yeah, map's pretty bad in the face of Little Teferi, huh? Put these in. Or leave 1 map in. This seems fine. The Eternal formats were good. We 3-2'd both of our leagues. We played Bridgevine and Sultai Ninja Fairies. If either of those decks sound interesting to you, the matches are worth watching. So I have a ton of spot removal, Potato. So we'll just kill the hero when they cast it. So like I have 3 shocks, 4 lightning strikes, and I have 3 lava coils as well. I think we have plenty of ways to take hero out of play. And like any stray tokens that might get left over, we can in fact clean up with Star of Extinction. Legion Warboss can also potentially block it.
You show remorse.
And like Teferi's annoying here, but like if you look at the old versions of this deck, one of the things I added is shocks and lightning strikes, and these planeswalkers are the reason I added shocks and lightning strikes, so that way I have ways to kill these after they've played in minus. I think I want to just start activating this, although it's kind of appealing to get Crucible into play. I think it's important that I hit my land drops, though. This week, I played a time-traveling Navy SEAL Ninja Warrior VR game. Cold Shoulder, loving the new schedule and excited for M20. Me too, Shoulder. Thanks for keeping me around. And like I said, I'm doing a little bit of less time right now, but we'll be amping things back up when we get close to the new set release. I really don't want to put True Firestar Captain in here. I feel like it doesn't really add value to the deck. Thanks, Pizza. Maybe Orzabel? I don't know. Lightning Strike's pretty good. I feel like you don't really need Banefire. I feel like 3 Mobilized Districts and a Crucible is plenty of win conditions game 1. And let me rephrase. If you aren't happy just killing people with Mobilized Districts and a Crucible, this probably isn't the deck for you. Which is fine. It takes a very specific type of person to enjoy what's going on with this deck. Hey, Tobear, thanks for the 2 months. Finally hit Diamond on Arena, thanks to the Aristocrat deck's awesome drummer. The deck's a lot of fun. Just gonna ditch a land here. Strike this one. This card's going to draw us our 2nd land for the game this turn, which is pretty good. The Golden Cheer Badge is pretty sweet.
Focused and disciplined. I have just the trick for this.
Thought Erasure, sure. Probably losing the Star here unless they have a counterspell. If they have a counterspell, they might take a Bombardment.
Meditate and prepare.
Compass has always kind of been a cornerstone of this deck. It is a little bit awkward against Teferi, but I think it's a necessary evil. These decks are incredibly mana hungry. Exactly. They have a veto. They don't. All right, sweet. I'm actually not gonna grab lands with these because I don't want to take damage on my health total. So these things don't untap when they flip. So I could go get a land with one of these, but I'd basically have to take 2 damage to get that land, which I don't think is reasonable. I think I'd rather save 2 life than get a land. Yeah, I'm aware I can choose Planeswalkers. I didn't want to choose their Planeswalker endo. Their Narset had already double down ticked. Why do I care about it?
Move quickly.
Why would that be a card I want to get rid of? Yeah, Sun and Star definitely are better draws at this point. That one might have been right to get a land with, because at this point, this one would have taken 1 damage from this. I'm going to get to maze this. So maybe it was better. Maybe it was better to draw a land there. There's no guarantee that we kill it, though, Crisis. So, like, if I selected it, I'm only 1 in 4 to get rid of it. So, like, yeah, if I could guaranteed kill their Planeswalker, I would guaranteed kill their Planeswalker. But putting a counter on it when it ultimately only has a 1 in 4 chance to kill it before it draws another card is, like, really bad compared to guaranteed killing a land. Now we could see like Despark or Mortify here.
I really should have seen that coming.
They have 3 mana Teferi. We'll see him come down and bounce the Binding. Sure, I'm telling you I'm aware that it's a doable thing, and I'm telling you why I think it wasn't worth doing there.
No time for a break.
Alright. Show me potato salad. This is a probably game-winning Star of Extinction if it resolves. Nope. Just Tyrant scored. Just Tyrant scored. Yes! Fist bump! Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Thunk. Bye, Felicia. My body is so ready to cast Planar Cleansing next season. My body is so ready to cast Planar Cleansing next season. Alright, looking for Immortal Sun or more Haphazard Bombardments. Or another star.
Let's skip to the good part.
Yeah, actual factual Planar Cleansing is an M20, by the way, if people have missed it. It's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. Yeah, blue Leyline loses to 3 mana Teferi in like 6 different ways, so it's probably not playable. Yikes. Need another sweeper ASAP. Hostage Taker makes sense. This is something that could have been in their hand. Maybe I don't want these Legion Warbosses. We don't know, Xenos. It's impossible to predict the future. Or the people that can predict the future, if it's possible, are using their talents on something much more profitable than a children's card game. There's not a substitute for practice and hard work in Magic. You can't just know. So, I believe this is an intervening if clause, so if I remove this from combat, Mentor doesn't work on it. Let's find out. Yeah, look at that. Good clean value. Because this says, Mentor explicitly says it puts it on an attacking creature, and Spires of Orzhaka here, or Orzhaka, whatever this card is called, removes it from combat. I would like another star, please. Great. That at least stems the bleeding here. We're only taking 1 inside of combat now. This is going to 8, though, so we really need a star or an Immortal Sun.
Hold that thought.
We're already through 2 stars here. I have Lightning Strikes and Shocks that keep Teferi from ulting as well. If I had a Haphazard Bombardment, we have a 1 in 5 to kill this twice. 1 in 5 and then a 1 in 4. Got a few outs here. That is not going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and pack it in. This is game 2 and we are up a game. Needed a sustained source of card advantage pretty badly that game and just never found it. Maybe this isn't a Legion Warboss matchup. Maybe I do just want my Clarions. Think you want map? Yeah, I could see that. What do we think of? What do we think of this? This seems fine. I mean, I have Star of Extinction to clean up Lyra, and like Thaumatic Compass is removal for Lyra as well. I mean, I think, like, people saying we really need this card, like, we didn't lose that game to their creatures, chat. Like, their creatures weren't killing us for, like, 5 or 6 more turns. We lost that game to the Teferi Ultimate. I didn't concede because they cast a Lyra and they had creatures. I conceded because they were going to Emblem the Teferi. Like, their hero wasn't super relevant that game. I'm just bringing in Clarion because the what's it called? The, Legion Warboss seems like a liability against their hostage shakers. If there was a card to replace it in the face of 3-mana Teferi, don't you think I'd probably be playing it? This isn't Dota. Have you stopped chasing that MPL contract? Thanks for the tier 3 sub, Lurkoif. I appreciate that. We are still going to be a full-time Magic stream. I've been meaning to diversify some of my streaming into games outside of Wizards of the Coast games for a little while now, and Underlords might be that, but I'm still going to be primarily Magic here as long as that pays my bills. I'm pretty sure they don't have a basic island, so I'm going to go ahead and kill this Watery Grave here. I think the opponent just has all of their creatures in their deck right now. I think is what they've done, Namcarver. So, unless the League variant ends up wildly more popular than the Dota variant, I'm probably going to play the Dota variant, if only because I don't have to fight with wine. So, Valve applications have native Linux clients. So, unless the League variant is magnitudes more popular than the Dota variant, I'm going to play the Dota variant. There might have been merit to lightning striking that as opposed to lava coiling it, but holding lightning strike for this also has some appeal. Because these strikes kill planeswalkers. Will they both come to mobile? The game looks interesting. Yeah, the Valve version is definitely coming to mobile. I'd imagine they'd have to be stupid to not bring the other version to mobile too. I think I'm just gonna Compass and pass here. Just guaranteed my 6 land drop next turn.
That's more like it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the genre can withstand the test of time, right? Like, Magic's never going to be Fortnite popular, but Fortnite's probably not going to be here in 25 years, and Magic will likely still be. Magic has a legacy behind it. So, with them shocking to leave a... We might be getting draw step thought erasure, I suppose, here. With them shocking to leave a counterspell up here, I think I actually just want to lightning strike this, and then activate this again.
Now what?
One of the things that's interesting about the auto chess game, though, is that unlike games like Fortnite and Counter-Strike and MOBAs like League of Legends and Dota, it's not a dexterity-based game, right? Like, there's some timer things that you need to click through, but for the most part, it's a thinking game. So, like, those types of games, I feel like, can build a longer-term following so long as they can keep up the variety. They showed us a counterspell yet? That's a good question, actually. You might be right that they haven't.
I'll protect you.
You're right, I don't think I remember being vetoed. They almost certainly have vetoes in their 75, but you're right, I don't think we've been vetoed yet this game. So now I have to ask myself what's more important here. Is drawing a land more important, or is getting 3 points of, saving 3 points of life? I think I'd rather thin a land out of my deck with their current board state. A lot of the hero decks have cut veto. That's good to know. Maybe I should have just YOLO'd the bombardment. Pretty good pickup.
Still have much to learn.
This might be a bad idea. I came into being before your ether itself serves me. Let's try this.
This might be one that we need to play for more than an hour, just because we've been playing this match for over half an hour. Yeah, only having one Immortal Sun on our top whatever is kind of rough. Maybe I actually just want to play 4 for this matchup. I don't know, I feel like we've gotten kind of unfortunate. I've got 3 Immortal Suns and 3 treasure maps, and we just like have only drawn one of that combination of cards in, 23 cards. We were pretty unfortunate drawing them in the second game too.
Lies beyond tradition. We need to move quickly.
And like, especially if they don't have a counterspell here, we're just like a Star of Extinction away from being back in this game.
I've got time.
Getting punished for holding on to that is what it is. I don't think I have room for Blast Zone in the mana base. The colored source requirements to cast my spells consistently dictate if I wanted to play Blast Zone, I would have to cut a spell for it, and I don't think I want to cut a spell for that effect. Why is Blast Zone better than the other cards I'm already playing? Like, why is Blast Zone better than another Immortal Sun? Why is Blast Zone better than anything else? Make an argument. Don't just tell me it's a card we could play. Tell me why it's a card we should play. And again, like, if you make changes to your deck every time you're unlucky, you're always going to be making changes to your deck, right? Magic's got an incredible amount of variance in it. So, like, playing 2 games where we only draw 1 copy of our meaningful card in the top over a third of our deck, and that 1 copy gets discarded, right? Like, that's not the average. That's not what you should expect to have happen in most of your games. Mobilized District is literally our win condition, Kaisen. You literally can't win the game without Mobilized District. We played Legacy yesterday and it was awful.
Here goes nothing.
The 2 modern leagues we played today were actually great. We had 2 good ones in a row. And again, I'm not saying the deck is perfect. I'm just saying don't look at the specific situation we're in. Think in theory what happens on average, etc. Don't be super results focused on the 1 game you're currently watching. So Field of Ruin is effectively a land that makes colors. So Endo Crisis, well, I agree with you that that card generated card advantage before. If you actually take a step back and look at my deck list as a whole, instead of focusing on 1 very specific card, you'll notice that we're playing a bunch of copies of Immortal Sun. So this iteration of this deck is playing the same number of pieces of card advantage as the older builds that we've played. They're just different pieces of card advantage. So again, if you stop focusing on the 1 game we just lost where we got unlucky and think critically about this versus the other builds, you'll notice that you're being very, very results focused. So Persip, this, again, I want you to focus on the reason why we actually lost instead of being results-based. You're saying you want to cut treasure map. The reason we lost that last game was because we didn't have enough filtering and card advantage. If anything, there's an argument for adding a 4th treasure map back in, not adding more bad answers. Like, we didn't lose that game because we ran out of answers. We lost that game because while we were drawing our answers, we didn't draw a sustained source of card advantage. That was the problem. Why do I need a different source of card advantage? Why do I need a different source of card advantage? Why can't we just Immortal Sun Teferi or turn him off? Or shock him, or lightning strike him, or like do one of 100 other different things that let us deal with it. Yeah, and we have a bunch of ways to take Teferi off the table. Again, take a step back and think as a whole, what is this deck doing? And again, my big takeaway from that first game that we played isn't that I need more answers, it's that I failed to find my sources of card advantage, so maybe I want more than just 6 real sources of card advantage. Because decks like this do struggle when they can't start generating 2 cards per turn. So playing like a 4th Immortal Sun in the 75 might not be crazy, playing a 4th Treasure Map in the main deck might not be crazy. And that's one of the things that makes Magic so difficult to evaluate and tune decks, right? Like you can look at that game that we just played and be like, oh, I didn't have enough answers, when in reality, I had answers, I just ran out of cards. They're actually playing Bant, which means I'm sideboarded incorrectly, but hopefully it's okay. Hey, Supian, thank you for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, maybe the 4th Warboss is better as a 4th Sun. I could see that. We've played Arc of Warzaka in this archetype in the past, and it could be that we just want to play Arc of Warzaka. Like I wouldn't hate having a 27th land. This deck definitely wants to make like 7 land drops in a row most games.
So much more reliable than have you ever lost?
And I don't think I can cut Colored Source to play that as a land, but I do think I can. This is a reason to hold Shock in my hand. I do think I could cut a spell. A lot of these decks don't play an island. I'm going to try and attack their blue mana here. Karn is not playable in my Immortal Sun deck. Our gamble was not paid off here. Although I guess this does keep them off of Frilled Mysticking us, which is kind of nice. Yeah, the lack of... Our opponent stumbled and died last game, so I didn't really know how I was sideboarding. The lack of Cleansing Novas in my deck right now is a pretty big punt.
For the fallen.
Yeah, I agree, Nomcarver. Agree with the conclusion that it's functionally a different deck. Alright. I think we're just hoping we don't die. They just like cast a creature, we die here. Right? This is 8-14. I feel like the only ley line that really looks like it matters so far is the white one, because the white one stops or beats up on the burn deck. Hey, Retract, thanks for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Do I want a bunch of Deafening Clarions against their deck? I might not. Void shuts down Dreadhorde to a degree. They can still Dreadhorde stuff out of your deck, and if you're a mid-range deck, you probably have stuff worth getting back. Like, the decks that have bad Dreadhorde matchups tend to have things that Dreadhorde wouldn't mind putting into play. I'll leave the Shocks in, because they kill their 3 mana Planeswalkers nicely. Sure. Yeah, Dreadhorde also plays Little Tef, which can bounce Leyline. Also very, very accurate. So, like, you're not going to be able to really play Leyline in decks that aren't black, because you're going to want to be able to recast it. They printed a better... Is it a Combust that hits Planeswalkers? That's lit, if so. Lit AF, fam. Alright, shuffle your Teferi away. Just gonna keep killing their threats here, I think. Get the board mostly clean from when I drop the Haphazard Bombardment. Keep my health total high. I don't have any sweepers in my hand, so like being conservative and waiting for sweepers doesn't seem very good. Yep. I'm gonna be a little aggressive here and take a lick for a turn. For a real professional, we'll rip Cleansing Nova, or, for a real professional, we'll rip Cleansing Nova or Star of Extinction next turn. Probably dead. Sure. What's the point of talking about veto mana, though? Again, don't spend time and energy focusing on things you can't beat. Like, it's not like we have cards in our deck that allow us to play around veto. So, like, you don't, like, veto doesn't change the play, right? If we draw a sweeper there, we're still casting our sweeper. Like, maybe the fact they leave veto mana up and we have Lava Coil if we draw Cleansing Nova, we, like, cast Coil before Nova, so that way if they veto the Coil, we, like, but, like, if we draw Star of Extinction there, the fact they left up veto mana doesn't mean we're not gonna cast it. We're kind of backed into a corner and, like, forced to do it. Sometimes when your opponent's representing something, you can adjust your sequencing choices if you can afford to play around it, but in a lot of times, you're just like, alright, gotta make you have it, cast my thing, cross my fingers. Mobilized District is this next win condition. It's the first month you're in jeopardy of not making Mythic. What does jeopardy mean? Doesn't jeopardy mean, like, there's danger? Like, getting to Mythic doesn't give you anything. Wait, it gives you an extra booster pack? I think it gives you an extra booster pack, right? It is like 20 gems. Yeah, booster packs are worth 20 gems around here. We'll start in gold. We'll manage. We'll manage. Alright, so I was gonna kill their stuff, right? High value? Well, it's not high value, but you do get invited to an event if you top 1,000. But there's a 3-month time span that you can top 1,000 in. It's not every other month. The first one was 2 months. This one is over 3 months. Yeah, the first one was over 2. This next one you have to top 1,000 in one of 3 different seasons. So there'll be more people playing in it. Yes, Mobilized District does cheer when it enters. It's pretty funny. I think it's just gonna be like end step lightning or combat lightning strike, untap lightning strike. If we're really lucky, we'll draw Cleansing. We'll draw Deafening Clarion next turn. Other good draws would be more Lightning Strikes or Shocks. I'm gonna upkeep this, because even if we miss on the land, we can still cast Immortal Sun with the treasures. Well, we really want to take their threat out of play here, ideally. They're, like, trying to figure out if we can activate the Mobilized District. We cannot. Go to 7. This card is notably very good against the Thaumatic Compass, which is normally a removal spell here. We have no real win con. I've got 3 copies of Mobilized District. What do you mean no real win con? Kids these days. And their elitist no real win con. Alright. Alright. 2 shots at Star of Extinction. And we had bottomed one earlier, so that doesn't bode well for the home team. We have died. Maybe I should have kept the Star earlier. Just like known that it was going to be good in the long term. Immortal Sun, so it's tough. I think I want to cut at least one of these, but like I need some of these to maintain sustained card advantage as the game goes along. But I don't think I want to draw all of them. What do I want to trim here? Revitalize just giving 3 probably isn't super meaningful. This is better in the burn matchups. Do I want Clarion versus Shock? How do I feel about Clarion versus Shock? I think Shock might be better overall. Although Clarion clears Paradise Mystic. And they were pretty aggressively putting their guys on haste, which makes Clarion better. Their variety of haste threats are definitely a bit of a challenge for us. Do you ever trim stars? Probably not. Maybe the fact they kill planeswalkers is a big deal. Like most decks against mono red, we might cut star. Yeah, against mono red, we'd probably trim star. Hey, Be Rich, thanks for the 21 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. One of the things that kind of sucked about playing Underlords last night when we were giving that a try was that there were never any games where I got to mulligan or stumble and just concede without taking meaningful game actions. It was really weird. I had to actually, like, play every game instead of occasionally just being like, welp, there's nothing I can do, let's move on. We have 3 more win cards than last set's Esper control deck. Yep, pretty much. I'm gonna go ahead and Field of Rune here just to, like, get my second white source. And I want to shuffle before I start scrying, ideally. Now, I think the Immortal Sun's really, really good. Also, the Immortal Sun plays better with Star of Extinction. Immortal Sun is, like, absurd against the Esper hero deck. They have a lot of planeswalkers these days. Yeah, I'm in for that. I've got Lyra and Star. We'd played Dawn of Hope in this deck previously and always felt really kind of clunky and awkward, and getting to replace it with Mobilized District just felt pretty reasonable. The games where you can afford to have enough mana to activate your the games where you can afford to have enough mana to activate, what are the words I'm searching for? The games where you can afford to have enough mana to activate the, what's it called card consistently? Dawn of Hope, you're probably winning anyways. Yeah, the Immortal Sun's like a planeswalker that effectively kills their planeswalkers. Now, playing this pre-star is a little bit awkward, but this basically erases this, and ideally I want them to get to extend more threats into the star, because I'd rather do better than killing a land and one creature, basically. Huh. I'm ready for that. Now, do I want to attack for 5 and then star, or do I want to deploy this bombardment? I think I'm going to deploy this bombardment. I think it's pretty unlikely that my opponent is able to kill my Lyra next turn, especially if I take them off of one of their lands. Which means their dragon can't attack. And then killing a couple of their lands before I Star of Extinction them is, like, pretty good for us. So with having to pay a 2 premium, they could have, like, activate this Collision Colossus. That would be bad for us. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and block here because I'm sweeping the board next turn. So we'll basically cash this in as a gain 11. And, like, throwing my Lyra away on this block is kind of like a signal that I'm about to sweep, but I think that's fine. Like, I'm killing enough of their lands that, like, letting them know that I'm about to clean the board up is fine. So they have 5 lands right now. We're going to destroy 2 of them next turn. So tap, so we don't use our treasure cove here. Bye, friends. The old roulette wheel. I like the confirming just like what all my cards are. Because we're pretty solidly into garbage time at this point. The Immortal Sun in our hand should guarantee that we don't run out of gas here. Because some of the times, like, we can flood out a little bit because our deck has a lot of lands in it. But with the Immortal Sun drawing 2 cards a turn, that's pretty unlikely. And we've got 2 draws in the bank on the Treasure Cove here, too, which is great. It's garbage time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. Do 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 do. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good one. I've got Star of Extinctions and Cleansing Novas and Clarions on my deck, though. Let's deck play Field of the Dead over Mobilized District. I don't know. I feel like District's better because it pressured Planeswalkers earlier. Could go either way, though. So, like, on a scale of 1 to dead, what do you think you're working with here, opponent? I think I'm gonna send in the Goon here as a 4/4. We need to put Baby Tef in our deck to bounce Bombardment. That might actually be okay. Ooh, should we play the other Immortal Sun for 5 so we draw 3 cards a turn? What do we think? Is that the line? Lightning Bolt is a very good standard legal card. I agree. Gosh, look at how many people in chat took the bait. One could probably even make the argument that I was in fact a master at baiting. So, I put a stop on my end step here. So this way this can happen. Because if we kill the Phoenix, I want to shoot the egg. Alright, down to 13. Shankerstone, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, Maze would be good. Lava Coil would be good. We could also potentially kill this next turn too, which is great. So either the Phoenix is dying or they're losing both their lands. Either is a good exchange for us. Coin flipped it, the Phoenix. All right, you have no lands, opponent. Your move, Yugi boy. This is all we got. Red Rover, let Phoenix come over. I forgot the feeling of Bombardment slot machine animation, right? Right? It's so good. Oh, come back, friend. See, playing this deck's a lot of fun because even when you don't strictly win the game, even when you don't strictly win the match, the games you win are so long and satisfying that, like, this is a deck that's fun to play even when you're not necessarily laddering up. It's like, I won the game because my opponent had no permanents left. This was great. This was one. It's better than winning, right? Because that's not how Bombardment works, Paula. Bombardment doesn't kill something if there's only one left. Yeah, the next build of Citadel is kind of an interesting build. It's a little bit different than the ones we've played in the past. I'm interested to give it a try. This channel needs more Angrath. And we're gonna finish this one and then play one more. I think I'm gonna put a 4th Immortal Sun on the board before we start the last match, though. Thanks everyone for hanging out today, by the way. Got 1,900 people in here. This is the most we've had all month. Probably because a lot of people are en route to the Mythic Championship this weekend. Looks like a lot of the other people that regularly stream at this time are off. But everyone's having a great Wednesday. I plan to be live tomorrow morning as well, in addition to the rest of this afternoon. And then I'm taking Friday and the weekend off from Magic because the Mythic Championship's going on. Might stream a little bit of Underlords over the weekend though. That was fun last night. Dwarf Shaman, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Lightning Strike, Clarion, Nova, 3 lands. Let's do it. That'll get swept right up. Hopefully they cast a Warboss this turn, and then this Deafening Clarion is just great. This is the same girl person we were just playing against. I play pretty much exclusively best of 3 on this channel. I mean, I know you're partially saying that in just DMS, but yeah, a big part of why my stream is successful is because just showing up every day and being here consistently is a big part of having an audience on Twitch. Not disappearing for days or weeks at a time. I'm just double lightning striking this. This might be wrong. It might be right to just, like, treasure map tap land this turn. If they play a Phoenix, I'm going to be a little bit sad. Don't have any lands in here, right? Yep. Perfect. Definitely gonna 1-for-1 this Cleansing Nova here. It means we're a turn behind on the treasure map getting a counter, but I think that's worthwhile. Yeah, consistency's not the only thing, right? Like, there's other factors that go into it too, but like, once you have the other factors down pat, the consistency is key. Past that. I don't think... I guess they're stumbling, right? Like, this is only gonna kill 2 lands, but that's probably good enough. So I don't get the full 3 land destruction value, but we get to, like, take them off of 2 of them here, which probably means the treasure map and other friends get to go to work. And, like, if I find a memorial if I find a memorial to war, we'll be good to go. As someone who doesn't go anywhere or do anything myself, I appreciate the consistency. Yep. Here for the timeouts, we live to please. Alright. Land destruction. I want to throw a 4th sun in the board. I felt like I wanted another copy of this card against the Esper deck. Let's pop in for one more here. This deck, winning with this deck is just a true delight. I don't think this deck's very good, but it's definitely a gas to play. It also works with Field of Ruin, Kaisen. It's actually really sweet with Field, because you basically just get to hit all your land drops with it. Gecko Pirate, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. Hope life's treating you well. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, I have like Thaumatic Compass as another answer to Phoenix, so I think playing only 3 coils is fine. Have been lurking while starting MTGA. Definitely owe you something for all the tips and tricks. Well, thanks for keeping me around, Pirate. Glad to hear you're enjoying some Magic. This deck is too degenerate to not sub. Yeah, this was one of my favorites. I was really sad when this got pushed out last season, but the fact that Reclamation is on a downtick means enchantments live a little bit more often. I just want to keep activating this every turn and get as many lands as possible with it. Yeah, if they're a Nexus deck, we might be in trouble. That matchup's probably pretty impossible for us. In fact, if they're playing Wilderness Reclamation, I'm going to concede and probably go to the next match. Just play one more. If they're the Thieves deck, we'll play because we have a real shot there because our sweepers have text, but if they're just playing like a deck we can't interact with, I'm not going to waste our last match on that. So hopefully we find out soon. I don't really keep up with spoilers a ton early in the season. It's hard to, like, make any meaningful estimates about them. Alright, Clarion and Bombardment, both okay here.
I protect that which cannot protect itself. Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Yeah, this deck's probably got okay tools for a matchup like this with all of its sweepers. So... do I just haphazard this turn, and then next turn Clarion? They technically have Frilled Mystic up here, huh? Yeah, they have another... They could just have Chemisters Insight here, though, too. I think if this resolves, I'm going to tag Nissa along with some lands, because I wouldn't mind getting rid of Nissa here. Because Nissa does make a lot of mana for them. So if this resolves, I'm going to tag Breeding Pool, Forest, Island, Nissa. I'm not going to tag this one, because this one's going to die to Deafening Clarion next turn, ideally. Alright, if they don't have another Frilled Mystic, we're dead to Frilled Mystic, effectively. We're also dead to second Nissa out of their hand. They just, like, make a 3-3, play another Nissa, make another 3-3. If they have another Frilled Mystic, we're not going to be able to Clarion. And then we have Revitalize plus this flipping to not die to the next land that they make with Nissa. Looking to fade things like Hydroid Crisis here, although we're not just dead to Hydroid Crisis, so we can Compass the Crisis and then Revitalize to not die to this land. Star of Extinction is our best possible draw here. Play another Dork. Play another Dork. Shard of Course. That's sweet. Sweet. That was not the Star of Extinction I wanted for Christmas. Let's do this to start, I think. And then I think I just want to Revitalize again. Give myself the most draws at a star. I guess this gives me, would this give me more? No, because I can't afford to scry this turn, right? The White Python, thanks for the Prime support, I appreciate that. Yeah, we need a Star or an Immortal Sun next turn real bad.
The land fights for us.
No, I have Aspires here. That says their 7/7 doesn't hit me. This article here tells you how standard rotation works with Magic. Gives a good visual of how things work. You can always find the current deck list we're playing on the screen via the Stream Decker widget, or you can type !deck in chat. There's also a link to all of my decks down below the stream. Alright, one of your finest Stars of Extinction, please. This is a redraw, right? That is not the Star of Extinction I wanted for Christmas. We are dead. I believe we have died. Congrats. Alright, we get to bring in some Cleansing Novas post-board, which gives us some more nice redraws, which is sweet in situations like that. I don't think this is an extra Immortal Sun matchup. This might be an extra Crucible matchup. Revitalize was like okay buying us turns there, but I don't think this card's actually very good overall. Maybe I do just want the last Immortal Sun. Ixalan's Binding could maybe be okay. It's pretty good against Hydroid Crisis, which is a card I don't mind like removing from the board and locking them out of. I'll bring one of those in. Yeah, I'd prefer not to make their thief cards live. I live at 2. No, they were gonna get to make another 3/3 Isha. So I could Lightning Strike 1, and then I could Lightning Strike one of their things and Maze the 7/7, but then I'm taking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I believe. If I'm remembering the board state, they had 7/7, a 5/5, a Paradise Druid, an Elf, and then a Nissa uptick. Yeah, no problem, Python. I think it's worth chalking this in on 1, because if they play an Elf, I want to kill that and then play Compass. That's true. Binding helps overload whatever destroy artifacts and enchantments effects they might have. Sweet. And this is a good example of why Compass is so good in this deck. Like, this archetype is really mana hungry. So in the early game where you just get to guarantee all your land drops, it's like, this is great. Sign me up. I don't think so. I didn't have enough mana to do all the things, dude. Like I needed to I didn't have enough mana to like cast Lightning Strike and activate the maze and block. Just a little bit. Too many different directions. So we know that if you're familiar with Magic as a whole, you might have heard of things like Modern and Legacy, non-rotating formats. So in the fall, Wizards is going to be introducing a new non-rotating format, not only for paper, but also for Arena. So people will still be able to play those cards that they love that are rotating out. So basically, yes, you will still be able to play with those cards. It'll just be a new format that gets bigger and bigger and bigger, basically. It's going to be a format where your cards never rotate. So if, like, you have a deck that you love, you can just play it, you know, on and on. And an N, thank you for the 15-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. One thing they haven't announced yet is they haven't announced where that new format will start. They're supposed to make that announcement when M20 releases over the summer. But a lot of people are speculating it will include sets like Kaladesh that were in the closed beta that were removed when it went to open beta. We've won 2 matches with this deck. 1 match? I don't remember. I don't count the match wins. We've won plenty of games. The games we win are sweet. Hey, Spike, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. You know what? There's no better feeling than taking an opponent who's land screwed and then destroying their lands. Welcome to Thunderdome. Enjoy your stay. Spin the wheel. Thunk. So this card picks 4 permanents that they have, and at the end of every one of our turns, so long as 2 or more cards have these counters on them, it destroys 1 at random. Now, I think I'd rather kill their blue sources because they have fewer blue sources than they do green sources in their deck usually. So I'd like to try and take them off of a color as opposed to trying to cut them off of Nissa lands. Because if they play Nissa and start plussing, I'm just going to Lightning Strike the crap out of the lands that they make 3/3s. Sure, but we don't know that they're not going to backcode extra, Dougie. There's no guarantees how far back exactly they're going to go. Hey, Lavia. Thanks for the Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Do you have a Frilled Mystic? A Frilled Mystic? A Frilled Mystic? Do 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 do. Well, mass manipulation actually doesn't do anything against our deck. Except, I guess if they could cast it at instant speed, they could take Mobilized District, but we're not playing creatures or planeswalkers. Wow, they're blinking the bombardment. So blinking, wait. Oh. Oh, my sweet summer child. Oh, no, wait, I'm out of mana. Rats. I say they did that during my main phase so I can recast it, but I'm one short of recasting it. I should probably make an Underlord / auto chess command. You can find videos of my session streaming auto chess or streaming Underlords on my YouTube from last night.
This world.
I like that they just didn't plus there. It's a pretty heads up play. I'm gonna go ahead and double lightning strike this though and then play this bombardment. Wait, can I? So this costs 4 to activate. Yeah, never mind. I can activate the Mobilized District, attack her, and still play bombardment. Oh, they can't because the sun's out. Duh. I knew that. I knew that. I was testing you. I do still want to kill her because she makes them have more mana.
My strength.
And now I get to replay this bombardment and put counters on these other lands. Yeah, the fact that the bombardment tokens stay is so good. I am planning to stream it some more Crazy Shrimp. Now, Magic is my job, and the Underlord streams are mostly just going to be for fun extra stuff, so I'm not going to strictly have a schedule for it. But probably over the weekend, especially. All right, let's draw a card here and see where we end up at. Probably just want to lightning strike this. Been busy at work, so haven't been able to catch the stream as often, but thanks for always uploading to YouTube. Thanks for keeping me around, Blue. I appreciate the support. Alright, they have the negate, but let's just start closing here. I don't really need to generate more card advantage. Oh, and I can play this post-combat, right? What's Underlords? Underlords is the new standalone auto chess client that Valve is working on. It's in technically closed beta right now, but it's supposed to release on PC and mobile later this week or next week. Who are you and what have you done with it, Jeff? Well, so one of the actual risks that you run with this deck is only 36 cards. You could definitely deck out with this deck if you don't turn the corner soon enough. Here's a quick summary of the auto chess game style. The best definition of the auto chess game style is it's basically if a deck building game met a tower defense game. You ever played tower defense games back in like StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2? I guess Warcraft 3 had them as well. That would be my best succinct description of it. I tapped my treasure cove. Whatever. It will be on mobile when it does a full release on Android and iOS. You have 3 lands with counters on them still, so we're gonna lose 2 more. It's multiplayer. You can play with computers, but otherwise you play with other 7 other people. Now because you're Magic players, I do need to prep you if you're gonna try out the Underworld game. The Underworld game is a little bit annoying because it doesn't let you spend extra money to get better units. So if you're someone like myself that's used to playing Magic with your credit card, the game seems completely un-American at first. Everybody's on this ridiculously level playing field, and you just gotta be able to stomach that. It is disgusting. Yeah, I tried to forklift. Now, my stream last night was literally my first time playing it, so I was doing a little bit of fumbling around myself, just as a heads up. There is not a tutorial in it yet. I assume that's one of the things, so it's technically doesn't have an actual release yet, and I assume the tutorial is one of the things that they're waiting to add. How is Dota Finance supposed to work then, right? Asking the real questions. Oh, we're totally gonna star them next turn. We gonna make it rain, chat. Oh, I guess I tapped too much here. Whatever. Allow me to sing you the song of my people. They took the bait, chat. They took the bait. Do-do-do-do-do. It's so satisfying. It's just so satisfying. Is this the first game we've been... I think that we've been playing this deck for an hour and a half, and that's the first game we've actually reduced someone's health total to 0. That was the first time in all the matches we've played with this today that we actually killed them and they hadn't just conceded beforehand. Excellent. Excellent. It's a bit shameful, really. We didn't reduce their will to live to nothing. That's generally the win condition. We should have skipped killing them to perfect them out of the game. That probably was the line. Should have just sat there destroying lands. Winning by boredom. Well, Modern Blue-White Control doesn't fully lock people out of the game. This actually, takes all their permanents out of play, so it's kind of unique in what it does. I, too, hate getting my hands dirty. Alright, we'd love to see a Clarion in our opener so we can clean up their early mana dorks. If we don't hit our land drops here, it's because chat didn't believe. So I'm gonna need you all to believe, okay? I'm gonna need you all to channel your belief. Good job, chat. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. We take this game very seriously, okay? Only the tightest of plays on this channel. Oh, we're so good at this. Why are we so good at this? Sure. Magic the Gathering is a true skill game. Beep, 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 beep. Gosh, our opponent's so unlucky. Missed their 5th land drop. We skillfully have made our first 5 land drops here. Opponent probably kept a greedy hand with only one land. Listen, these draws are to make up for all the times that we kept a hand in our 27 land deck, our 26 land deck, and bricked off, okay? Okay? Alright, we got 2 for 1, then it felt bad, but it is what it is. Yeah, this is all that cumulative variance we've stored up, okay? I think I'd rather this resolve than this resolve. I don't think, regardless of what we cast here, it's resolving, but I think I'd rather have this stick and draw cards in the long term. Like if they go land Nissa, we get to play the Immortal Sun and lock her out. No, not necessarily the Freak. We don't have any pressure to follow it up. So, like, killing 3 of their lands is something that eventually draw out of. Is this the part where we're flooding now? Do we, like, flood out after we kept the 1-lander? Stop it! Stop it! Is that all 4? I think that's all 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's all 4. All right. Nope, that's all 4. Yikes. Yikes. Was Frilled Mystic and Quad Negate. They discarded a Hydroid Crisis earlier, so I assume that's in our future. Get him, District, get him. Do I just jam the Star? I feel like I'm supposed to just jam the Star. Oh, That's annoying. Oh. Rabble, 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 rabble. The Underlords last night was great. I was watching someone else playing Underlords when you logged in, and the quality of your stream interaction with chat is just so much better. So here. Yeah, and like, if they have a Nissa, they're still gonna have enough mana to hold Frilled Mystic up a lot of the time.
Strange and magnificent world.
Tamio pick up the gate. We'll be done. It's fine. This is the last match with this one, anyways. We've been playing this deck for almost 2 hours. We gotta get to the next few. Can't let the queue back up too much. Play another Mana Dork. Play another Mana Dork. Play things that die to this. Play things that die to this. Alright, so my opponent has 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana this turn. 10 with that. If they have a Hydroid Crisis, they're going to get an 8-8.
Harness the elements.
I think we're getting Crisis for 8 here. If we can draw a Star of Extinction, we get to kill all of their green mana. So if we're lucky enough to hit a second star, we get to kill all their green mana. Never, never lucky. Because the district's a 3/3, so it would die to the Deafening Clarion Thunderwunk.
The land shall conquer you.
Alright, I'm not dead yet. And we died. That's at least good TV, right? Fortunately, 4 negates and 2 Frilled Mystics is a little bit too much for our deck full of 6 and 7 mana spells to overcome. If we'd have been able to rip a star at the end there, we might have been okay, but alas, it was not meant to be. Again, I don't think this deck's very good, but I think it's a total hoot to play. And if you like the games you win to be a total and complete utter annihilation from your side of the table, there's definitely not a deck that does that better in Standard. So, as always, if you're looking for a deck list for this, you can grab it off of my Stream Decker page, or type !deck in chat if you're a sub. There are also links below the stream if you are not a sub. We're gonna roll right along to the next deck here. If you didn't